Listener warning. Everything about this podcast is offensive and often stupid.
Louise, I don't want to hear him talk
And
twice.
there's Rob!
Live from Racine, Wisconsin, where the G2B towers
In the basement.
where the G2B towers cast a shadow.
Suck it! Suck it!
A
dark shadow.
Cast a dark
Keep
shadow.
going! Suck it! Suck it!
Damn it. God damn! It just won't stop! It just won't stop! It keeps coming!
We'll redo that intro. Hold on.
No! Leave it out! No!
I mean, we'll leave that on.
It won't stop moving! I can't call it coming! It feels so
I
good!
was concerned a few of them might have gotten a little cold.
We just shake this little...
I
ass.
did say
I don't like this!
maybe,
Peter, what are you doing to me?
hold it a little, maybe love it a little.
Well, this is definitely old school G2B right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, this is.
You mean...
So drunker episode.
All right.
Yes, this is the drunker episode.
Live from Racine, Wisconsin's towering G2B. Fuck sticks. Live from the G2B towers, casting a huge shadow over Oprah's apartment in Racine, Wisconsin. It's the Guys, Games, and Beer Show.
Yay! By the way, that is a factoid. That is a real factoid.
Yeah, that is a real factoid.
like a
The
apartment.
G2B towers just
Cast
put
a
a big-
shadow on her apartment.
She's been bitching for years about it.
I know.
Ever since we built the tower.
We're not changing it. Sorry. Yeah,
It just won't stop foaming, guys!
I've heard that line before. Well, he apparently got the dud.
I hope all of you go through
So
that.
we gotta go to beer court.
Mine's fine.
It's time for beer court.
Yeah.
Dun dun
I really just wanna...
dun dun dun
Dun, dun, dun,
dun dun dun. Beer court.
Will this beer be guilty of making Ben cry?
I think it is actually.
Oh my God! Do you need to be able to pronounce it to send it to prison?
It's a Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen.
Oh no, it's a Hefeweizen.
It's a
Hefeweizen. No, you just.
Hey, you got some Euro trip, right?
You just.
Both Hefeweizen from Port Huron.
Hefeweizen. This is.
Yeah, whatever, the
Hefeweizen.
hell.
You have to read this
And I'll
beer. This
have
beer's
to
touched me in places I don't like.
I'll have to
Be a
full
pervert?
disclosure. I'm actually an advocate today because I have tried this.
Throw it
I
on the
thought
court.
I thought it was good, and I thought I would bring it to court to see if I was correct. That this is a good beer. We've had a run of really horrible beers.
We have, actually.
And so
shots.
I thought I would treat the team to one that I think is good.
Okay, so my first question was Port Huron. I have not seen them out of the state of Wisconsin.
The
Local
Wisconsin Dells.
Okay, so but you can't get them out. They're only in Wisconsin.
They may only be Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah, I haven't seen
They're
them down
that
here.
local.
All right.
They're that local.
Hyper local.
Hyper local to Wisconsin Dells. And if you, for those of you that don't know, Wisconsin Dells is essentially Wisconsin's Disney World.
Yeah, it really is
You know,
actually.
and-
Pretty much.
But
It's like the B-roll of Disney.
Yeah.
But there are
right.
plenty of people that come from out of state to go there. You know.
By out of
It
state,
is-
he means Illinois.
Hey,
No,
I've
I've heard people
North
come
America's
from
largest
Illinois.
from Minnesota.
And Illinois.
and Iowa.
North America's largest water park, guys. Come on. North
Yeah,
America's largest
I mean,
water park.
there are
If
people
you're really
that-
into
that-
water parks,
Okay,
you
but
might
this is
go to
the
largest
name of the
water
brewery is Port Huron, which is an actual port in Wisconsin. It's a quality built beer. So their whole tagline
Not
is,
brewed, built.
No, it's a bit. No, they really are going with this
We
whole
have the
built
technology.
theme,
We can
right?
rebuild it.
So the Port Huron brewery derives its name from our grandfather's 1970 Port Huron steam tractor. So they do mean built, actually, which operates to this very day. So literally, this 1970 steam tractor is still up and running. This fine machine embodies the values of our family-owned operation. Careful construction. You know, I don't know if careful construction with a beer is necessarily a good thing. Without haste, and a full day of honest work. And talking.
So there's sweat in this beer.
This is a communist beer.
It is a communist beer, yes.
I hate this beer.
Sit down, relax, settle in, because there
Wait,
are
are we
two
supposed to
things-
relax or work hard?
You
I
would
don't
never
know.
rush a good story or a quality built beer. So they are using built as their theme.
But guys,
Yeah.
am I relaxing or working hard? I really don't know.
Now, as far as the beer actually goes, they talk about it's an unfiltered
Watch out, Trev. Yours is kind of
blend
So it's
of
chunky.
Of wheat
There it
Go,
and
go, go,
barley,
go. Suck it, suck it.
and this has about
It's just gonna keep coming, dude. Just drink some.
it's going to be refreshing according to them.
Well, we'll
and,
find out here. Okay, gentlemen, drink
And
fast.
it's an American to the German standards. An American to the German standards.
2 out of
So we
6
kicked
have
its
cried.
ass.
Okay, a third of the podcast has cried drinking this beer. And I feel like it was user error on whoever chilled this beer.
Today's
was
disclaimer.
It was user error.
It's
but I-
ice. This is like 90%
No,
ice.
yeah, it was just coming out as a column. It just keeps coming in your mouth, dude.
Your table's gonna be so
What the
sticky.
fuck? What the fuck is this? This isn't beer. That's not beer. I will clean this up, but
Your
there's
beer just took a shit out of you.
my beer is pooping like a horse's butthole.
It happened to me too.
That's not beer. That's wrong. It just pooped on my hand. I don't care. This horse is dead. I can't even drink this beer. It did the poopy thing, but now there's
Try
like
mine.
a poop log, and I can't get to my beer.
Mine is sufficient.
How does beer even do that? I need an adult with a
does
towel.
that. I've gotten Miller to do that.
You want to try mine?
No,
All right.
I'm already traumatized.
So, this court has been
Subjugated to
Messified.
cruel and unusual punishment.
this court has been granted power by Racine Alderman Keith Fair, who
Oh, Keith.
knocked over a sign over by my over by the court over
yes.
there when he's drunk driving. Thanks, Keith. We appreciate you authorizing our beer court today.
Fine representation.
All right, so
It's gonna be a moment.
Can
let's
you
let's
get to
do a little
yours?
tasting.
To get a representation, it is a delicious beer. I'm telling you, it is.
It's a Hefeweizen.
It's kind of fruity.
Yeah, that's
I can't get to any of it still. I had a sip. It's tasty,
Well,
but I'm also
there you go.
traumatized. I'm also mildly traumatized by this beer. Of it was served way too cold, and it did the sploogey thing. And you're just sitting there, and you're sucking, and you're sucking,
So,
and
what
they're
we've
trying to
learned
do the
is
intro.
we've
Ben had a rough childhood.
Damn it! I made
learned
eye contact with Travis.
Bob's,
And now I got a weird show going
Bob's
on.
fridge, super effective.
That was in a fridge and not a freezer?
No, it's a freezer, but you know,
Jesus.
we thought no.
There's a
it'll be
big
fine.
difference, Larry.
I need it.
Yeah.
I have beer all over the joint.
I mean, it seems like okay, Hefeweizen. Next time you need to
delicious.
chill a beer fast, it's ice and water
And salt.
and salt. Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
I say next. That's how you
Yeah,
chill
we'll
a beer
remember that.
quickly.
Yeah.
No, I
will.
learned that from MythBusters.
I gotta say, not bad.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Love me some Mythbusters.
Yeah, cross promotion.
I mean, it tastes like a fairly standard.
Adam
Hefeweizen.
Savage
Yeah,
is my
yeah,
spirit.
yeah.
It's like your Hofbrau.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, but it's a little more powerful, a little more fruit on it. So it's
It
got.
really tastes much fruitiness
You
to it.
don't?
Maybe it's because it's fucking cold as shit.
Well, that's probably you don't taste the fruity
Well,
side.
you
you're
can
right.
have a warmer one.
It does have a little bit of a fruity taste.
no,
on it.
I got the fruity taste to it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely got the fruity taste.
Now the problem is I can't get any beer to come out of it.
No. It is all ice, dude. That's nothing but. That's
Come on.
the entire thing froze. No liquid. None good. It
You know, the classic listeners are gonna love this. They're gonna be like, "Oh wow."
Yeah, we are.
The guys
yeah.
gave the beer. I started listening.
That's right. The second episode.
welcome.
I'm turning
Franz.
this off now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Second, more drunker.
Yeah, wait a minute.
episode.
This is an even number episode. Don't listen to the even
So,
number episodes.
G2B history, we used to always record two.
So it's like
in
Star
a
Trek
row.
movies.
Right.
Right.
And we became too drunk in the second one.
Right.
You know,
So
you know,
episode one, great. Episode two,
No, because
trashed. Episode 3, brilliant. Episode 4, trashed.
well, we were
There's
still
probably
doing
about
penalty
100
shots.
listeners who are like, yeah, that's classic G2B. And
I
another
could
200 are
not
like,
talk
what
about the
hell?
beer that was exploding all over Ben and me. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I'm sorry.
Right with it.
I think we need to keep that intro though, and I'm trying to
I'm
do
not gonna
multiple
cut
things.
it because that would mean
So,
have to edit.
all right. So, where are we at with this in court here? I know there was some dramaticism to it, but
Okay, no.
Try to be
This
impartial.
this is truly classic G2B.
Words are hard.
are there dramaticism?
I'm, it's a solid
No.
Hefeweizen. It's got
good,
that. It's got
Even with all the
drama.
Even with
Trauma?
user
No,
error?
drama.
No,
Even
it
with
was
user
trauma.
error?
Okay,
it
it's
wasn't my
trauma.
fault. I
No,
was planted
mine.
this beer.
It was my error. I overfroze it. I overchilled it.
Okay, but it's good. It's good.
All right.
I can't vote.
I can't find the gavel.
The gavel's behind there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't.
All right.
I have to abstain.
I can
You gonna
relax.
abstain?
I abstain.
That's the first time he's ever practiced abstinence.
No,
Wow.
abstain, not abstain.
And I abstain because I'm an advocate, so I already like
You
it.
can
so.
still
That beer
say you
force.
So
want.
I'm already
I don't
gonna put in a thumbs up.
All right, all right.
I can't. I
believe-
can't put it in this time.
Because the beer put it in you.
It just kept coming out.
That's what she always says.
My beer just kept coming.
I've never seen a beer come out like that.
That's pretty rough.
I've heard that line before too.
Okay, whatever the hell you are, Wizen. By Port,
Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen.
Port Huron, I hereby find you guilty of tasting pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I sentence you to a drinking.
Yay!
There's gonna be no beer that comes out of this bottle.
Order
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
court.
drink it.
Order in the
We
court.
have a victory beer.
And that's the end of beer court. Wow.
Okay, so what is the actual topic for tonight, Rob?
I cannot remember. No, it's not. It's
90s.
the 90s. It is the 90s. We're going to talk about the gay
Dude,
90s.
never forget.
We're gonna talk about Screech. Oh wait.
No, we're not talking about Screech.
No, we're going to talk
He
about
lives in northern Wisconsin.
Twice.
90s.
He
got
mostly
arrested
is
twice.
arrested
What's that?
in
Games.
I thought he got
Wisconsin.
arrested twice in Wisconsin.
Did he? Twice?
Everybody
I
gets
knew
arrested
once.
in
That's,
Wisconsin.
he stabbed someone, they got arrested again. I thought again in
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
No, no.
So-
He got arrested like twice in
We're gonna
within
talk
a
about
few
Screech, fuck it.
days.
in Wisconsin.
Welcome to Screech Talk with Guys, Gays, and Beer. So how many times did you get busted for stabbing somebody in Wisconsin, Larry?
Once, and then there was
Once,
it was,
but then he broke his parole
Parole?
like right away, and then yoink.
Welcome to Wisconsin. So, wait, I suppose we probably should say who Screech is.
What about
Everybody
Zach?
fucking-
Dustin
No,
Diamond.
not everybody knows who Screech
Which
is.
sounds like it's either a wrestler or a porn star, really.
All right, so Dustin.
So, Saved by the Bell was a 90s TV
That doesn't
series.
help when you actually say his
On
name,
what channel?
right? Dustin Diamond.
Fucking who
Disney?
cares?
Was that Disney shit?
no.
I don't know,
No.
but you can catch it on
No,
Netflix.
TBS. It was a TBS.
No, it was
Yes,
not.
it was. It
Nobody
was
cares
TBS.
what channel it was on. Let's talk about the show.
Yeah. All these old
Oh,
brick
come on.
ass-
You're getting old for
what
it.
time was
Justin
it on?
Diamond. Justin Diamond.
It came on at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Saturday
I
morning.
remember because I just cheated up a
9:30.
TV dinner.
Yeah, see how to walk uphill both ways.
That
that
and
show.
Matlock. That and Matlock.
That Matlock.
Murder, She Wrote, calm
In
down.
fact,
Andy
that's
Griffith's
gonna be
show
us.
is pretty
We're
damn
turning
skippy.
this shit up.
All right.
Welcome to an even episode.
Yeah, wow.
So Dustin Diamond was the star of a 90s sitcom.
Still
one
say
of the
should have been
stars.
Saved by the Bell.
Name.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell. And he gets arrested in Wisconsin a bit. But don't we all? I mean,
Not
really.
in the show, in real life.
No, in real life, yes. He gets,
Not, it wasn't a plot line.
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
show.
it wasn't a plot line, right?
No,
he,
yeah.
he absolutely got arrested.
yeah, for stabbing somebody.
Who hasn't?
But that was after he
I
was
try not
going to
to
lose
judge.
his house.
So
And he sold T-shirts to try to save his house.
welcome to
Save
Wisconsin.
Screech.
Welcome to Wisconsin. All right, so what we really are going to talk about is 90s video games.
That's right. And we're going to start with the games
We're
of the
gonna,
90s, our
we're gonna
favorites.
keep it to 90s console, right?
Not necessarily. No.
When we did 80s, I was all bitch slapped for
game-
like trying to
No.
bring in
I
arcade
didn't.
games.
Yeah, well, yeah, and did you see anything about in the topic discussion saying it had to be console?
I just sort of
Whereas
thought,
it didn't during the 80s one. You
That's
actually
what
said
happens when you make
80s
songs.
console.
I miss.
Yeah, you make an
Make an
ass out of you and me.
It's
SUU.
Can you guys do anything consistently?
Come on. Have you watched our show?
All right.
It's
All right, so-
consistently not that great.
It's consistently inconsistent.
All right, Rob, why don't you start this out?
Damn it.
God damn.
Well, you want to start
really?
it?
No, I'm gonna go with. I'll go. I'll go. I'm gonna throw out some Metal Slug there. I gotta say, of games that I play consistently that were from the '90s, yeah, Metal Slug. It's badass. It really is. It's a great game. It has a good sense of
you steal
humor.
it from
It had kind of it had an old school feel to it, which I was, in the '90s, I was still kind of just a refugee from '80s gaming, and it was really nice to see a side scroller.
Go back to your own country.
By the time I saw, God damn it. By
What
the
are you,
time,
Trump?
but I'll build a wall.
He's pro-Brexit.
You're Brexit? Yeah, you're a Brexit boy, aren't you? He's
You
a
know,
Brexit boy.
I can't say.
You mean
anything
everyone
about
that
that.
immediately
But anyway,
regretted their decision?
I can't.
There are certain.
Okay, anyway, about Metal Slug.
Brexit is a lot like my ex-girlfriend's. I
now
regret
I
my decision to
understand.
pull
Pull
out.
out?
All right, so
Now I understand. You want
That's
to bring
an
a Neo
illegitimate
Geo
children.
system in. I get it.
or I wish I would have pulled out earlier. Either or. Okay, so we're gonna talk about
Blow
yes,
it
'90s
out.
games. I am talking about
Metal
Metal
Slug.
Slug, which when I saw it in the arcade. Which was by then actually a laundromat, but still, when I saw it at the laundromat,
Hey,
I said
a laundromat, you still use quarters in the machines,
Yeah.
and the prize is clean clothes.
exactly. That is
So,
indeed.
all laundromats are actually arcades. Lie to yourself. It helps sometimes.
I approve.
Just really shitty arcades.
Yeah.
Shittiest fucking
No,
arcades.
but at the I was in Kansas at the time, the first time I ever saw it, and
poor
I
bastard.
saw. I know. And
He's still in
sorry,
recovery.
all Kansas losers.
The four of you.
I've been drinking.
That's a
You
whole
guys are doing a hell of a
population.
That's
job
a
in your
county.
state.
That's right. The first time I saw it, I was like, God dang, that's just like old school gaming right there. And I was very happy with it. And I played it, had a good sense of humor. It's a hard. It's not a hard game. Not if you have a lot of quarters.
It's
but-
quarter here, though, yes.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, it's it's bullet hell when you're walking through it, but
Yeah.
it's not impossible either. It's a fair game. Well, sometimes it's a mostly fair game. I'm really backing out of this now at this point. I
I'm just
actually fucking hate that game. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really like that game, and it was one of the games in the '90s that I said, this is really enjoyable for me. At a time when it was a whole lot of slow ass 3D games, there were some exceptions. There was a period there in the '90s where
Sad.
a lot of the games were these slow ass versions of 3D games that you probably should have played on the PC.
I gotta say though, it's like there's so many great games in the '90s, and like the '90s were a time when games went from being like the simple platformers, like okay, get from point A to point B, to characters that had development and backstory, and games with great plot. And how would you choose? Like,
There was
I
Ultima
would
back
agree
then.
with you. I would agree with you. The '90s
Like-
really introduced the long story format.
yeah, rather than very simple gaming, and like there's nothing wrong with a simple game, but it's like Metal Slug, like all the games. I mean, that's your choice, but it's like Metal Slug, like
But
Basically
this is
saying you're wrong.
Dude, I had
You just didn't
Ultima.
say you were wrong.
No, I mean we had Ultima to play in the '80s. I'm sorry, we had depth, we had a
was
deep
gonna say,
game, and I felt
it's
that
fun
in the
for
'90s the RPG actually became the RPG Lite. I mean that's my opinion. It just became kind of an RPG Lite, and it turned me off for a while. Now I love Final Fantasy and games of that ilk. I really do. I like them now, but at the time
For a
it really
while.
felt like this is really just a low ass and dumbed down RPG, and I really didn't think much of it at the time.
Ooh.
No, I love it. I mean, Final Fantasy
Yeah, but
VII is one of my
not
favorite
just
games of
Final
all
Fantasy,
time.
There were some solid. I'm gonna go a little later in the '90s. There was some really solid.
Yeah, a little bit later there were,
RPGs.
but I'm saying at the time I saw this game, I was kind of like, RPGs aren't what they used to be. They're not really RPGs anymore. They even fucking turned Ultima into a pussy ass game on the Nintendo.
In the '90s, they did. In the
Oh,
90s
let's
they
have
did.
all the characters follow each other. Really, fucking really.
Right. No. I
Let's make everything
Get
work
off
with two
my lawn.
buttons. Get the hell off my lawn!
Stop
So,
fucking my Ultima!
I think I've got a really, really good '90s choice, and that is the original Diablo.
Great
Which
game.
counts,
Oh, you screwed him.
counts for
Wow.
both the PlayStation
I don't think that's a
and the
screw. It's a
PC.
great game.
Yeah.
And for multiple reasons. It was a really
Which
damn
is why
solid
your
game.
choice sucks.
It was very. I mean, there have been games that do procedural dungeons before.
Yeah.
But Diablo really stepped it up to the next level, and its multiplayer with BattleNet was just revolutionary for
Oh
the
my
time.
God.
BattleNet was just an amazing network. It still is a great network. I mean, but for its time, like what you could do on a dial-up connection to connect up to other players and instant zones and chat. It was just otherworldly.
God.
And again, like I'm sure other people hopped on, other honorable mentions like Ultima Online, or like
yeah, but they were
Not the same.
but that
nearly
came
as
first.
good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but,
but
not nearly as good. Diablo's one of the first games I logged in, and I literally did not realize that it's 5 a.m. and I gotta go to work.
Yeah, but it's like
I was
that
just playing
moment
that
when you
long.
realize you're playing with like other human beings and like questing in real time in the same dungeons. I remember Ben and I the first time we ran into somebody fucking wearing the Godly Play of the Whale, the hacked shit, and I was like, wow, like how do I get that? And like you start socializing with people and
Then
talking.
you learn how to dupe. You have to drop it, walk up to it, and click the potion same time. Boom.
Yeah, right? Easy peasy. But it was just
Exploits. Then you download Boba Fett, Diablo Trainer, whatever,
in the middle of the 90s, man, like that just it was a game changer. It really was. And how well the BattleNet service ran consistently.
Yeah, especially for that time period.
Yeah,
It was
for that time
amazing
period.
how good they were.
That
not
helped
only
it
just
succeed
that-
over a lot of other games.
Because it was why? Because they also showed you the latency between the servers too, which was amazing. Because this is red. Don't join that one. I'll join this one, and it was.
Oh, and you could play
Amazing.
that bitch on a dial-up connection. It was.
Oh,
just
I
fine.
did when I first started playing. I
Blizzard,
played that son of a
Blizzard
bitch
knew how to
up
build
on the
networking,
dial-up.
Yeah, they did.
and they still do. They still do a great job. And it's got the Blizzard polish, and it was an absolutely beautiful game. And I really think that it had everything that the 90s deserved. You know,
Apparently
I still
cat
parts
laundry
that game
somewhere.
memorized, like dialogue. That's bad. Oh my god. I played
Still,
Okay,
I would listen.
I'm gonna go back a little earlier in the 90s. So there was the 90s
not even gonna go down.
the 90s had so many turning points as far as gaming goes, but I think again,
I'm starting to think it's almost unfair to like just say 90s.
no.
I mean,
It's,
there's just you're right.
we're doing a
There's so
decades
many-
episode.
yeah,
So many turning points.
there are. But I'm gonna go back to
There's
early
never
90s.
happy no matter
92,
what.
93, ID Software comes out with Doom on the PC.
Yes.
Before this, the PC was not a gaming platform. Period. Exclamation point. You didn't buy the PC if you wanted to do. Yeah, I know Wolfenstein had been out and other.
I loved
games.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein
I thought it
was a good
great.
game. I'm not knocking
I mean, it
it.
brought back Wolfenstein.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there who really think that Wolfenstein started with Wolf 3D. There are people out there that
Really don't remember the.
don't know that there was Wolfenstein before Wolf 3D.
Right,
and it was,
right.
Oh, it was.
Oh, I'm gonna be one of those people.
But Wolf
'cause
3D was
I
great.
thought
Okay.
Wolfenstein 3D was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
So
no.
what? So.
'Cause
In
I
the
never
early
got
day,
that
in
game.
the early '90s, the PC was not considered a gaming machine. You wouldn't buy a PC if you wanted gaming. You bought that for your home office, for whatever, but you didn't buy it for gaming. Then came Doom,
Yeah.
and this was probably not the first FPS game, but it was the first one to actually make the format.
I had to go buy a DX4. Man, I was like, God damn, my 486 is
Right, it's
calling.
just
I
not-
need
right.
a DX4.
Right, just to have enough power to play that game.
And something better than a sound player.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, and Sound Blaster 32 that sold more high-end graphic cards of the time, more Sound Blaster cards of the time, because for Doom you needed Sound Blaster was the card to have. Also, all the Sound Blaster compatible cards.
For the peanut gallery, meow. Just want to bring that up.
Meow,
Meow.
meow.
Yeah.
Meow. Okay.
You really got to start showing like Twitch comments on the main podcast.
All right. We probably
Anyway.
should actually have the main podcast.
Meow?
So, but
Right
Meow.
now.
Right
so,
now.
So the whole thing was about
Meow meow.
Doom really. Doom
Meow,
started
meow,
selling
meow,
PCs
meow,
as
meow.
gaming systems. I literally know people who bought a PC so they could play Doom.
Oh, one of the first times servers were completely swamped. ID's dial-up was just dead. You could not get on there when Doom was released.
Yeah.
It was just so amazing. So amazing. Shareware. Just God, there were so many. Doom did so many things for so many different types of software. I mean, shareware being kind of the early.
Right.
version
Doom
of
had
pay-to-play.
a scaled down shareware version or
Right.
the full version you could buy.
But it's sold
Right.
like
when you
crazy
when
because
you
of
bought it, you get the first few levels, and then they literally had a phone number you could contact to get the full version of the game.
Yeah, you could call them if their BBS
Or
was
you
down,
can go
which
back
it
to
often
the level
was.
1 and just play it again.
Exactly.
It's great.
But it really it really bought the whole for. I'm going to say, again, I know Wolfenstein was the first-person shooter, and there were other FPSs before this, but I think Doom developed that in the early 90s. They made the first-person shooter game popular.
What's your pick of the litter for Doom? Which version do you think was the best? I've got one. So.
2.567.
No. But, like, what platform? The SNES version. No, I'm kidding.
That's a very good question,
Holy
actually.
shit.
What's the best Doom version?
Platform? No. Platform version.
Yeah, platform version, not like version, for God's sake.
Oh,
I think straight on a PC was.
I have to agree with you. I'm going to go with Larry on that. Straight on the PC.
I'm going with PlayStation. It was really good. It had
Ultimate
that lighting
Doom?
effects. Yeah, it was really nice.
No,
And which you didn't have.
I'm sorry.
and
you
you,
did
couldn't,
to later.
and you couldn't mod it to really weird skins.
Which you could do on the PC.
Oh God! I remember
And
buying
eventually
discs.
you get Star Wars
Right,
skins.
with all those literally, so there was like third-party
Oh,
companies
yeah.
making all sorts of like hacks and expansion packs and different levels and skins for Doom in the early
That's
days.
why
I remember
Doom
buying, like,
lasted-
these big
not even
packs
just
of
it was so popular at the time. It lasted for years, and just because of
Just
people
like how
you could mod it.
Valve and, yeah.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Still today. There's new
So,
ones.
For my '90s game, that's going to be it. As much as
No, that's a legit
Game changer.
yeah, it was a game changer. Thank you. That's
was a
exactly.
Not only
it.
was it a game changer, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It really was.
Even going back now, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
How about it, Ben?
Age of Empires 2.
Nice.
That was super involved RTS. That just like they had great campaigns. There, I want to say that there was you could save your campaign and set stuff up.
So pre that, some of the RTS games were things like SimCity and games like that. But Age of Empires brought it to a whole new level.
yeah,
They were like the ones that proved that it didn't have to be Blizzard making an RTS. Seriously,
I was
it did.
actually thinking about Warcraft 2. And I was just like, Warcraft 2 is solid. I really like Warcraft 2. But I think Age of Empires 2, that is what brought it to just like the next level of it was kind of like that Sid Meier Civilization.
Right.
Where there was the progression and then just it gave it a deeper level than just that Warcraft
It's a
2.
good-looking game too.
Yeah, that too.
I
Yeah.
think it really
It was
helped
real
do it.
pretty.
It was pretty, and it was just really deep. Just a
Yeah,
good game.
it was super solid.
That was Microsoft Studios, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Age of Empires was produced by Microsoft.
All right.
Ensemble Studios made it.
Yeah, I mean Microsoft doesn't really make anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Buy
but
everything.
They don't
that
even
was
make
still
no
through
OS.
them.
No,
Oh,
not really.
true.
Every
Matt,
word
Ten's okay.
makes me think of
I haven't tried
another
it.
great.
The
90s
The
game.
90s was a pivotal point in gaming. It really was.
No.
So something I want to talk about is, we have. I'll let you get there in a minute. But we have not talked about 90s. Really was the transition from 2D and isometric. All right, never mind. I'm gonna stop. No, I'm gonna stop. Never mind. And how about you, Tyler?
Well, Travis did take my absolute number one. Out of everyone here,
I
I,
score another one.
Diablo fan, that's fair.
I played. I played the fuck out of Diablo, but Diablo 2. Those were my games. I lived on those fucking things.
I don't know how much you played Diablo, the original Diablo after Diablo 2 and stuff came out. I know you definitely got me beat by far in Diablo 2 or 3.
You had a
but I
problem for a while.
might have you beat in original Diablo hours. There's a
Maybe.
chance.
That's
I
that's
sunk
good
a
chance.
shit ton of
Dude,
I
it's
mean,
an
it's-
epic game though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
could go either way on that one, but Diablo 2, yeah.
Diablo 2
I'm gonna
went
throw
hands
down on
down.
that because I played the shit out of Diablo. I'm
I
not
don't think
usually
he has
the
as
guy that like jumps on
Larry,
the
I'm
first
sorry.
train.
We were teenagers and did not
I
have
was-
We weren't even
lives.
when Diablo came out. We were in elementary school.
Oh, please, like 20-somethings have lives. We have no lives.
Yeah.
We had nothing.
Yeah, you did, I'm sorry.
I was
There's no
married
way.
and had no kids.
I played Diablo.
My dad bought the
all you
computer
do.
for
Hours in it.
You don't have to
He
date.
never used it. But the one I'm going to pick, because Travis did pick Diablo, I want to say something else, was the game that it came out in the 90s that I played the hell out of, that I still go back to, Metal Gear Solid. I fucking love that fucking...
It's a 90s game too.
98.
I always thought it was like the 2000. Oh yeah, because I didn't
No.
play it till the 2000s.
PlayStation 2 was released
Great
in
game.
2000, so...
Yeah, that I...
Well, you could
still
get
had
on the
games
original
on
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
I mean,
so.
Yeah, I know, but I
I
mean,
like
they're not.
Metal Gear Solid. I haven't played the new ones much,
That's a good
but
game.
I love that damn game. It is so amazing. Even now to go back and play, it's still amazing. I love it.
I have it in my
I picked up
collection.
Metal Gear Acid today.
Oh, nice.
I bet a better copy. I'm working on a full Metal Gear collection.
Have you tried out Metal Gear Crystal Meth?
We posted
It
that,
is
didn't
the
we?
best.
No, we did Pokemon Crystal.
No. There's actually a ripoff. It was from our work. We had a hard drive enclosure called Metal Gear Box.
Oh yeah, I bought that.
Yeah.
Because of the name.
Yeah, and it had the Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, the name
logo
was
font.
hilarious.
The
Yeah.
logo on it?
Yeah, but it was called Metal Gear Box Substance, just like Metal
You know,
Gear.
I never thought anybody would see that would appreciate it.
Yeah,
I thought it was like
I
the
put that on
best box
Facebook.
ever.
I put that on Facebook. Yeah, it was a
I
hard
bought
drive.
it. Yeah, I bought it because of that.
Wow.
It was hilarious.
All right, Larry, I guess
Who
it's
would
up to
actually
you.
get it? You know.
God, this is a ridiculous topic.
No, it's not.
It is. To narrow down the 90s, you
You're
know,
standing
like,
right by the mic. They can hear
So-
everything. Whispering
so-
does not help.
You got what? Nobody for Crash Bandicoots? No.
Yeah, New Bet's not here. Thank you. Yeah.
Nobody for Final Fantasy VII?
there's just-
Introduction of the polygons to an RPG experience? Oh man.
I
it's
mentioned
just-
Final Fantasy.
There's so much going on.
Dragon.
Dragon
There's
Rider.
so much going on.
Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah, thank you.
Panzer
Dragoon.
Dragoon.
Yeah. There is
Xbox
so
So
much
much
going
going
on.
on.
The
Sway
90s.
is the one
the
that-
One of my
90s
favorites of the 90s. It's actually got a fun quote to it too. So and of course I'm gonna put a side note in that Dark Forces kicked ass.
Knit one, pearl one. Knit
That was a
one,
good
pearl
game.
one.
It
Knit one,
was
pearl
the
one.
Star Wars variant
Yeah.
Of Doom
Yeah.
was super freaking awesome.
All right.
Okay, and this is a little more obscure, a little more peel back, but Final Liberation
That's an
was
obscure
so
choice.
freaking
That's a
awesome.
very obscure choice.
It was so freaking awesome.
Why am I not?
It was one of the perfect epic level Warhammer games ever done. It was so
That was
perfect.
Amiga, wasn't it?
Or PC. We played it on the PC.
Which game is this?
You are a traitor.
Backdoor Sluts Night.
It was on a PC. No, it was a PC. It was I don't even know if it was an Amiga game. I think it was.
Larry's too drunk to remember.
And it was Final
Microsoft
Liberation.
Windows in 1997.
Let me down.
And I tell you, so
Only
we
on
got
Microsoft Windows.
We got this
Sucks.
really great.
So I was a traitor too because I played it.
Basically, it's a turn-based, epic level, almost straight port.
Let's go in a different direction.
Almost straight port of
Straight porn.
Warhammer game. So epic level.
Rule
Straight
34.
port. You know, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's turn-based. It's not RTS, which was kind of hot at the time. You know, but that was and it was just orcs and Space Marines.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was perfect. You know, and so me and several of the guys are hanging out playing the game, and my daughter is. And she loved the game, and she's playing the game, and
Backtrack.
yeah, backtrack. And so she's playing the game with us, you know, and the big metal robots and stuff. She was cool into that, and so we're all playing this game, and she turns to me, she's like, "Hey, Dad, can I put in some Metallica?"
Oh, there's a moment. That is father and son. I'm sorry, father and daughter bonding at its best.
Yeah, I know.
As long as it's not bondage, we're good.
Absolutely. And so she goes to put in the Metallica,
long as it's
and
not
one of the
saying.
guys turns to me and goes, "I think she needs to spend more time with her mom." It was a cool moment.
That is
It was
a great
cool
moment. That is a
But,
great
man,
moment.
Final
It's cool.
Liberation was so awesome. The graphics supported the world of that world of Warhammer.
Yeah.
And it was so perfect.
Rob, before you sit down, why don't we give away another game?
He's talking about our ass, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. So go give away another game.
Do we really
Walk
think I'm
them
sober
sweet
enough to
cheeks
run
over there and
Yeah,
give the
yeah.
listeners some.
Let's
Viewers,
give away
not
loot.
Some
viewers
loot.
now. Let's give them.
Let 'em
we're
roll
gonna give
some
'em
bodies.
Show them some love. Show them some love.
The loots.
Wait, are we
play our
going up on the
harpsichords.
second part of this game?
That's
Second
like a
part?
piano,
No.
right?
Oh, okay.
It's
I
like a
just wanna make sure.
pianist.
We're not done yet.
It's like a penis
Today's
system.
second key
like a
is
penis.
Draconian Wars.
Cyst.
Redeem it on Steam.
Who's that by?
And
by
we're
the way?
about to shrink it. Bleep.
Who's that by?
That's by some guy.
Your
Nobody
mama.
cares.
This guy made it.
It's by your mama.
And that guy is it's coming. It's by oh my god, really? Cardley Studios?
Yusuf Mama.
Cardley Studios.
Cardley
Cardley Studios.
Card Feed Studios.
All right, so there's another freebie for you guys tonight.
Apparently we haven't had on the show.
Just giving her away. Hey, call us up, card people.
What?
I don't know.
You know, we haven't done the double episode recording in a
In a
while.
long
You can
time. Oh
Really
my God.
kinda see why.
Yeah,
We
there's a
fall
reason why we
apart
don't.
really quickly,
There's a
yeah.
reason why we don't.
But at least we're now self-aware that we're falling
see,
apart.
but we
Before,
barely
we
made it to
didn't
the
know
first episode.
that we thought we were just doing good episodes, but it's like, no, we're just all drunk and think they're great.
It's
Same
too
thing, it
bad
took
we
us a
weren't doing
while.
video recording in early episodes so we could have like a montage of like us throwing up.
We gotta have a month. I don't think any of us have thrown up on an episode.
You threw up after one.
And,
Like, straight up
and to
after.
be fair, nobody threw up into your hot tub. So, super win.
Super win for
I
me.
mean, we did get on video of
They have thrown
two
up in
beers-
Tom's, however. So.
Yeah.
2 beers ejaculating on us today. That was good.
By the way, Guys, Games, and Beer is funded the only way it ever could be funded by the fact that we're all rich.
Fat money bags. Now we're the 1%.
Yeah, we're the 1%.
1%.
Look at these fine walls of rich mahogany.
Now, to be fair,
Yeah.
Fine, wood
fair.
panel walls.
we're probably 2%ers. They,
You know
I'm
what?
a little more of a skim.
I don't like if you go with the whole planet. You're okay.
Because skim is just like white water,
Milk water. Yeah.
milk water. I mean, if you're gonna go milk water,
It's
might as well
water
go
that's
horchata.
lying about
All right.
being milk. To
So
quote Ron
we are
Swanson.
sticking to the 90s theme here.
Ben is an expert at milk water. He's had it in his face.
So many milk water moments.
All right,
Saltier
so
than
Travis has
actual
been
milk for
trying
some
to
reason.
salvage this episode, so let's talk about best console of the 90s. And I think I'm gonna throw something out. I'm gonna throw out the good old PlayStation. Look, the Dreamcast formed in 1998. I did buy it on day one. I love that system.
So technically
it's a
a
beloved
90s
system. It is technically a 90s system, but the PlayStation for hours played and things that I've really just. And this is so not an insult to the Dreamcast. Insult.
To be fair, Dreamcast came in
top
1999.
five. Yeah, top 5 systems is Dreamcast, but throughout the mid to late 90s, there's nothing beating the PlayStation. I just spent so much time playing it. It was at a time where I had, my last system had been the SNES. Darlene and I were playing a lot of games on the SNES, and we just, for a while, it just got boring there. I mean, we weren't really playing games that much, and when the PlayStation came out, we picked it up probably the first week. It was back when you could actually pick up a system like in the first week as opposed to the first day with a reserve. And I gotta say, I was blown away by it.
now, the
First time I
SNES
played it.
was 100% in the 80s.
No,
We were talking about the
no,
it was
PlayStation.
made. Yeah, we were talking about the PlayStation.
And that's what's
actually,
92,
but
93.
but then
No,
but
you
that's
mentioned
it.
the SNES.
Yeah,
as
no,
if it was your system of the previous decade.
No,
No,
the
no,
SNES
that's
came out in
No, that's what I was
1993.
saying. I was saying it was my previous system, and I had really
His
kind of
previous
grown
system,
tired.
not
of
of the decade. Literally,
Previous.
you can't go to the bathroom and then walk back into a conversation.
I was trying to
Try
get
to pick
back
it up.
involved.
You're like a small child that comes to the middle of the
And then
movie
tugs at his shirt.
and just is like, "What's going on?
Yeah,
What's
jump in.
going on?"
Obviously, PC will always be my favorite console, no matter what. Glorious
That
PC
is
Master
what-
Race. But if I'm actually picking an actual console, I'm with you on the PlayStation. Like,
The library is just
It's a-
unmatched.
Yeah.
the library. The
90s.
one time I really remember watching a game and seeing it and just being amazed, like legitimately amazed by a game. It was the first time I saw someone playing Resident Evil 2.
No.
The opening to that game. I just remember watching it going, holy
Creepy
shit.
as fuck.
Creepy and just how amazing it looked. I was just like, it was like mind blowing. It was
I was scared
loved
of the date of July 13th, 1998, which Resident Evil 1 took place. And because it was my birthday and I couldn't fall asleep because I was terrified.
The zombies are gonna get you.
Yeah, because they used the real motion video in the first one.
Yeah.
So I was
We
like,
weren't really
dude,
good at
that was
raising
And,
our race.
and actual
No,
dead
we weren't.
bodies.
the first time I played it, I was 7, and it was at a wedding. How does that
We
work?
really are bad people. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna put
kinda.
it out
Yeah, I
Just
got
saying.
some questions for you.
No.
But that
It's
is
okay,
legitimately
I was
the only time.
terrified
I mean,
by
there have always been
Halloween.
games that will be like, "Oh, that's amazing" and stuff. That was the one time I remember. I wasn't even playing. I was watching someone. They had just gotten it, and I just remember sitting there going, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It was.
I like
actually,
just
yeah,
so many unique games. Yeah, I mean, Prapper Rapper, which started
Oh,
like
gosh.
the rhythm genre game. Like that was the first.
Oh,
Again, I'm looking to buy that for a long time.
not just the first the cell shading. That's one of the games that
No,
kind
that one's not really technically cell shaded.
of. Is this that?
It's a mix of 2D and 3D.
Weird deal.
Yeah, it's technically a 3D game with 2D, like 2D-ish
It's
graphic.
really-
but it's not technically cell shaded.
Okay, all right.
That was before cell shading.
Screw that, Jumping Flash.
Jumping Flash
It was
is
the
a great
first 3D
platformer.
game that I ever played that was smooth and wonderful.
One of the coolest looking long boxes.
Oh,
in
it's
the PlayStation
beautiful. I
one.
love that game.
Yeah.
Jumping Flash is a wonderful
Oh,
game.
yeah.
I remember one of the very first, besides like Resident Evil things like that. One of the first 3D like third-person games to play. Driver series. You guys remember the Driver
Oh,
series?
yeah.
I
There-
don't.
Because it was Driver 3,
Yeah,
I think
first
that
one
was the
was great.
first time. Because it was always
Yeah,
like,
later
top
on
down.
you were a disembodied soul. It became really weird, like by PlayStation 3, right? PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
But I remember the first time they had like not like
Actually, that was
top-down
pretty
view,
good.
but it was actually third-person. Like it was came out before Grand Theft Auto. Actually, the third Grand Theft Auto, because the first two were top-down, kind of same thing with.
Yeah, and it kind of stole its thunder. I remember that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I remember playing Driver because it came out before that. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And that's one reason why I like
Tony Hawk's
PlayStation.
Pro Skater.
Oh god, I wasted
That's
so many
like
hours on
fucking
that.
The first
90s
one
kids. Every
was
90s
so
kid played.
good.
I know the soundtrack by heart. Like,
So, is there any case for any other system?
No, shut up.
okay. In retrospect, and again, I couldn't afford it in the 90s. Never could have. It's very obscure. I have to say, again, it's hard not to say the Neo Geo AES.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's-
Neo Geo was.
Again,
When I was a kid,
it's-
that was like the thing to
It's,
get.
I don't know if it's the best system of the 90s, but it's for what it does. It's unmatched for those arcade style games. You just can't beat the Neo Geo in quality of games, in just great gameplay and great games you want to go back and pick up again and again.
Yeah, that would just probably be terrible if you actually have one.
Saturn's not gonna make the not gonna make the bars.
I don't know.
I was
They
looking
did
at.
have
I was
some
looking
good
at
Saturn's
titles.
90s.
They had some good
Yeah,
titles.
because
again,
Dreamcast came out in 1999.
we talked about,
Dreamcast was 99, so
Yeah.
it still makes the cut.
98, 99. I think it was 98.
So
for-
yeah, Saturn
for
was
him.
I think 94, if I remember correct, 94 or 95.
Saturn was not.
Shining Force 3 was a legit game
Sa-
on there. They
Saturn.
had it was like most Sega things. They come out too soon, or there's just
Yes.
there's a misstep that happened where it's just like no, the next generation of hardware that came out was just like nope, they got it.
But
They
I
mixed
just
it in.
I think
Yeah.
the more I've gotten to know, again, I fucking Neo Geo was not even on my radar until we did our episode about it. And like the more I learn about it, it's just like the more I'm amazed by its capabilities. And like again, I think it's a little easier now that people have come up with converters so you can use NBS carts and play games cheaper reasonably. But again,
Multi-carts.
I don't own any
Fuck
multi-cart
yes.
for it. I don't own a converter for it yet, and I've still been able to get AES titles very cheap.
Well,
That
what about the
surprises
me.
SNES though? I mean, the SNES had a lot of strong
GoldenEye.
RPGs.
GoldenEye.
had-
There's
had-
GoldenEye. All you have to do is have GoldenEye.
that's
Well,
That's
that's
for-
it.
that's
That's
for-
I'm sorry.
64.
Was that
And
64?
that's
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I guess
You know,
so.
that's
Never
that's
mind,
got
never mind.
some advantages, but I'm
I'm
gonna
too late.
tell you,
I'm
its
too late.
strong tooth controller really is a drawback.
Well, the SNES was doing battle really with the Genesis, which was the late '80s winner. It was really impressive during the '80s. The SNES was
16-bit
great.
wars.
I loved
The Great
the
War.
SNES.
yeah, but the SNES wasn't
The Great War
released
that
in
no one
the
really
80s.
talks
No, it was a 90s console.
It's the
Yeah,
great
I-
hair.
I-
metal.
I think it's
But-
91.
But you're right. The problem was it's one of these in between consoles.
No,
Well, no, I mean-
it was solidly 90s. I know it was released in the 90s.
I mean,
No, no,
90, 91.
It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not like
It's
it was
90s,
SNES.
but it was
Yeah.
still competing. Like Rob said, it's still
It is
competing
competing in
against.
the '80s, and it was a
console.
great system.
wasn't released
Yeah,
Halo.
it added
It can't compete
elements
in the
that-
80s if it wasn't released in the 80s.
Thank you.
No, but
And
it's competing
it
against
was-
80s console.
It was a super tail end of the NES. The Sega Genesis came out very soon afterwards.
It was a system that really proved Nintendo's dominance over like Atari and the companies that were
Right, it
that were
killed
there
the rest of
before them.
those. Right.
NES maybe was a freak shot, but by SNES, you were truly, you knew that Nintendo was a power to be dealt with. It was one of the best game systems of all time, possibly Nintendo's best system ever.
Well, that was my second for
and then you go, oh, Sony goes, oh, we can do that.
Yeah, but PlayStation.
Yeah, your guys' timeline
Sony's-
is skewed.
Yeah, not really. I mean, that's like a 2-year timeline. It was dealing with an '80s machine.
No, 'cause
the Genesis was an
3
'80s machine. It
Yeah,
was
that's
there
true.
to
That's 89.
combat.
That's
It
89.
was there to combat late '80s machines.
Yeah, so but again, it's technically I would say if it's released in the late end of the '89, it's technically the beginning of like the '90s. The time the games came out, the time SNES
You
came out
gotta
in
count the
91.
Christmas before. The Christmas before.
But
That's
but,
what pulls
but
you in.
PlayStation by the mid '90s marked the difference between gaming in the '80s and gaming in the '90s. Gaming in the '80s was a flat 2D experience. It's not that the SNES wasn't much better than these systems, and it was an amazing system, but when the Super Nintendo came out, you said that this is the evolution of gaming. When PlayStation came out, this is something completely different.
You know,
This is a
Rob, I thought
completely
this was
different thing.
your bitch time to talk about how great the Jaguar was.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
With the links.
But it was 64
Fuck you,
bit.
people,
I
goddamn.
mean, it had more bits. It was obviously the better
That's 64 damn bits of justice.
console. It was through that commercial.
Yes, do the goddamn
Do
math.
the math!
Do the math!
I grew up. It was like constantly on TV. Do the math. I did the math, but I'm looking and I'm seeing something that doesn't really match this math you're telling me about. But
Turns out your math
ain't so hot.
Space math.
2 frames per
Space
second.
math.
It's not to
Space
say
work.
that the Jaguar didn't have some great games for it. It did.
Wait,
It's just
we
it was
did just
nowhere.
lose all the Jaguar fans.
It,
By 4 people in the world.
I don't know. MGC fans are generally fans
Jaguars.
of the Jaguar.
Oh, sorry. That was actually a fact.
That was just wrong. That
We
was-
have no
I'm
fans
actually
left.
apologizing about that
The
one.
Jaguar is a fine machine. It's just it was too late. It was too late. We had
What's
this
it called?
discussion.
What
We
was
already
the
had this discussion.
Last
Too
system
late.
in the '90s, just so we know what
The
we're talking.
Dreamcast was the
It's
last
got to be the
system.
Dreamcast,
Yeah,
right? It's gotta be the
99.99. That was
99 is the last.
PlayStation was 2000, so
You know what? You know what the problem
PlayStation 2
is?
my bad.
Yeah.
PlayStation
It's assumed
2
at that point.
You know what the problem is? Is that okay? I'm gonna compare systems, and it's like okay,
We have been doing that. I mean,
for sure. And you have the PlayStation, and it has all these different kinds of titles, but the Dreamcast is a better system in so many ways, but it's such an arcade system.
Yeah.
You know, it did fighting games super well.
Oh my
it
God,
did,
yes.
You know, the fishing games so
In-
well, and so
in my
but
mind-
it never did RPGs well. It never
No,
did,
Yeah,
no,
it did.
Screw that. Skies
No,
of Arcadia.
it did.
Shenmue, Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, no, you.
Fucking
Fantasy
Grandia,
Star?
Grandia 2,
Your four
Fantasy
choices.
Star Online.
Yeah.
Go fuck
Whoa,
yourself.
whoa.
Travis got really
You want me to
upset.
go fuck him? I'll go fuck him.
Okay, I would have chosen this Dreamcast, but my criteria is most of those games did not get released in the 90s.
yeah, that was my thing.
Since
was,
it came out so late, and I was like, I pretty much stuck. If I did the Dreamcast, it was going to be the launch
Well, it's the
titles.
same to say
Because all the good games for it didn't come out
till
until after
it,
the 90s were.
it's kind of weird because if I were to choose like a favorite console of all time, it would probably be the Dreamcast. But if you put me to the 90s, just in that section, the PlayStation, the SNES,
Yeah,
are
just
really
dominated.
higher. They were just.
Dominated.
It's just because I was enjoying them so much by that time. The early Dreamcast was okay. It was fun. I really loved the
But
system,
you
and I
limited-
kept
Throwing
it till
in
it died.
any of the
You
handhelds?
limit it so
But-
much by saying just the 90s.
Right, but the 2000s were
We'll
when
get
the
to
Dreamcast said, "I'm the king of the
Yeah.
arcade," you know, and it was a dying thing by the 2000s, and it was the only experience you had if you really wanted the arcade. But I'm gonna
It's okay
I'm gonna
if you
cry
can
a
Yeah,
tear.
you sound like
It's
you
okay.
getting upset there
Could I,
emotionally.
could I just
Somebody
take a
cue the
moment?
sad music.
From like the Hulk walking
Hey, Editor,
away.
could you please put in some? Yeah, you're not gonna do shit, sober Rob. Fuck you. Anyway,
I want to be contrarian.
Achievement unlocked. So we just talked to themselves on the podcast.
Third person.
I want to be contrarian about it,
He's gonna be contrary.
but fact is, man, the shooting games on the PlayStation were so great.
I think it's really hard to not argue.
Time Crisis is where it's at.
It's hard to argue against the PlayStation because it's just such a. It was such a game-changing machine. I mean, it brought Sony to the pinnacle of gaming at that time. Nintendo, the N64, as much as in hindsight for a lot of kids that grew up in the 90s, it was like a big system. For people who were in their 20s in the 90s, it was
Old
the kids
people?
system.
Yes.
It was a kid-
Yes.
You're fucking 30. Like
I mean,
you want me to bring my kid in and show you how old you are?
Okay.
how do you?
You might as well get it over. Playing the youth card is fucked for you. So.
But Shadow
But
of
I'm
the
in my
Empire
20s,
was
so can I
awesome,
play my youth
just
card?
so you know.
No.
But I'm still in my 20s. I'm not 30
Shadow
yet.
of the Empire was
You're
awesome.
so close.
So I mean, like, what about the
The whole
N64?
world.
Like comparatively.
It was a good system.
I mean,
in retrospect,
my
had
issue is I
a
never
few good
owned one
games.
until I was older.
right? I
So-
didn't, dude. I didn't own
I
one
mean,
until I
I
was over
always
40.
wanted one because there were games I loved, like Mario Party, and there are tons of good games on it. It's just I never owned
And
one.
Shadow of the Empire.
But I can agree with you, Rob. It was definitely a kid's system.
It was a kid system. It's not that in retrospect it's a kid system. It's that at that time,
That's-
Sony had done such a good job of marketing the PlayStation. They'd done such a good job at locking really good games in. Nintendo had a very hard time competing at that point.
Yeah, they lost-
The
well,
N64 is a great
the
system. I have it
controller
now
was-
because I love it.
I think-
it's playing
I
in the
really-
background. You know.
The controller was a turnoff. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the
it
controller
was a weird
turnoff.
controller.
Really,
It
the only
looked
thing I
weird.
think
I don't know what
N64
I do with this.
did well was the multiplayer. Again, when it came to it, it was like there were some good games. You obviously had your Ocarina of Time, you know, stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, developers like fucking Square jumped ship because they wanted to go to CD-based media so they could store, you know, bigger games and do cutscenes and things like that.
Yeah, it was a
A
big
lot of
story.
us love cutscenes.
But I mean, Conker's Bad Fur Day? Come on. Epic game. I mean, just an epic game-changing game.
And N64 had its moments, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
do
think
that
definitely
one
think
these
in,
days.
in retrospect, I think PlayStation won the war on that one.
I
Yeah,
think
almost
they did.
certainly.
It did.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
did.
yeah. I mean, by sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
The sales, but even
Well,
just looking
but-
back at the games and everything.
Yeah,
I feel
in
it won.
general,
the
they won
library
the
is
war.
horrendous for that.
They-
I mean,
they
they
won
just
the
have
war.
so many.
I think the big disappointment with the N64 is coming off of it really did change Nintendo's attitude on how they were gaming. When the SNES came out, that was the state of the art for gaming. That was it. That was the most powerful system. It was the best system. Everything was coming out for it. It was a hardcore
And
gamer
I
system.
loved it.
And I did too. It was an ugly motherfucker, but still, it was just you
Hey,
played
Jen.
games. You played them on the SNES.
We discussed this. They just didn't want you to put your drink on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That's-
well, they didn't want that. But the N64, by
Fun.
then you just it felt inferior.
Fun fact, it was a massacre. Not even just like a little bit. The Sony PlayStation sold 102.49 million to Nintendo 64's 32.93 million.
Ooh, wow.
Just
But
a
I mean, that's
massacre.
not like a horrible number.
No,
It's
that's
just
what
that-
it's on
Still
sale.
good. It's
yeah.
just
And
But
it's just
comparatively
PlayStation
so.
was
Right.
amazing.
The Sega Saturn sold 9.5.
Oh.
Which says if you can get a deal on a Saturn, the price will only go up.
It's a great damn
And
system.
all those games are fucking expensive. Good luck collecting that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Saturday games are horrendous.
$300 for
Magic Knight Rayarth.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah,
it's
and
like-
all the goddamn good games came out in Japan. That really pisses me off. Like, the good news is Japanese
Where am I going to
games
go
are
like
cheaper.
sexy mahjong games?
Yeah.
I know.
My 16.
Yeah, where's all my damn mahjong games?
Look out for the future episode of collecting games with Guys, Games, and Beer.
All right, Rob, we should probably wrap this up and take it out.
Yeah, because Rob needs a freaking break.
Yeah.
All right.
And so do you, listeners.
So I think
heard
we
it.
I think
you
that
poor
Go
bastards.
grab a drink.
I think when we go around the circle, what we saw was that in the '90s, PlayStation dominated, and it's not because SNES wasn't good. It was SNES again, one of the best systems of all
And not
time.
that PC hadn't come alive.
No, and the 90s was just a general golden age of gaming.
Yeah, it was. It was a good
It
time.
They
was
found their
the golden
niches and they
age
just
of
rocked
gaming.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Others just had bigger niches.
Right.
It was the best of times.
It was the worst of times.
Oh
At
my
least for
God!
Sega.
Kill us on a
No,
cliche.
I think it was just all good.
And probably NEC. But Yeah, it was a great time for gaming, the 90s, and I'm glad that we got to talk about
Yeah,
it.
it was.
I saw the most dramatic changes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Really,
we really
I
did.
mean, obviously at this point, yeah, graphics keep improving, but in terms of what games could do, it saw the most dramatic changes in what consoles could do, and that's
Yeah.
why it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, take us
For
out.
those of you who enjoy classic G2B episodes, I'm sure this was a freaking treat for you. For those of you who are new listeners, really sorry about this particular
And
episode.
to everyone in general, we still are sorry.
Not everyone
Eh.
in general.
I'm not sorry. I feel like we're quality entertainment.
Generally.
And general.
Anyway, this was episode number 212, right? Of Guys, Games, and Beer. You can
You
check
keep
us out at
track of this?
www.guysgamesandbeer. I have to number them. www.guysgamesandbeer.net. You can check us out for free games every Friday
Except for
on
last Friday.
Facebook, except for 2 Fridays ago. That's
We time traveled.
dilation, yeah. But I was really, really drunk. I mean, you gotta give me.
Deja vu.
I
You're
was
welcome.
really drunk. Thank you.
All right,
I was really drunk
Tuesday?
that night. No, it was Friday.
But this Friday there will be a game.
But this Friday there will be games.
Hey,
Is
let's
what
get
I'm
Rob
saying.
drunk again.
Free games. www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. Don't worry, if you are a Twitter user at Guys Games Beer on Wednesday, we give away free games every Wednesday, except when we really don't feel like it and we're Tom.
Hey, same difference.
Yeah, for those of you who ever wondered who manned that thing. You can check us out on Twitch if you're catching this on all the other formats. www.twitch.tv/guysgamesandbeer. You can see our last episode, how it was live, with the weird comments and shit and all. Thank you
what?
very much for watching
No.
or most likely listening to Guys, Games, and Beer. We love you very much.
That is true.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Oh, for us, it's 2 weeks. It's just gonna kill me. Goodbye. Bye.
Why are we doing an episode next week?
We did two
Yeah, we
today.
just did next week's episode.
Yeah, but is there a